No, he likes to kind of like play in the covers and kind of like slither around.
Oh my gosh.
I should have brought Mr. Snake.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad he's at the crib. Hey everybody, welcome to our final edition of First and 10 presented by JCPenney. As always, I'm your host, Hailey Sutton. And for the season finale, naturally I had to bring out the big gun. So we have got running back Ezekiel Elliott straight from the practice field sitting down with me today. Zeke, thanks so much for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Like I said, had to end it in a big way. We were talking before we sat down. This is year 7 for you. When you look back at the journey that you've had so far, do you register that it's been 7 years in the NFL?
Body definitely feels like it's been 7 years, but I mean, they always say time flies when you're having fun. I've been having a lot of fun here, and you know, a lot of relationships I've made, and you know, I'm having fun, still having fun. I got a lot left in the tank.
I love hearing that. As a Cowboys fan, I love hearing that. A lot of guys who I've had sit down this season have described their time in the NFL as a roller coaster for various reasons, whether it was injuries, whether it's just being bounced around from different teams. How would you describe your 7 seasons so far in the NFL?
You know, I would say just when you're kind of going from, you know, teenager to adulthood, that life is a roller coaster. And I would say, you know, I've grown so much, you know, since I've been here and matured so much. But you know, I wouldn't say it's been too crazy. I mean, I've had a lot of fun. You know, I've been lucky and blessed enough to have been in one organization for 7 years.
Is there a moment in your career that stands out to you as maybe like a bookmark point for you, or something that's maybe been your favorite part of this journey?
Yeah, I don't know if there's one specific moment, just because I've had so many great moments here, and but you know, I can't say there's been one specific one where I've been like, man, this is, you know, the highlight.
It's just been 7 years of fun.
Yep.
Year 7, though, you've seen a lot of success. I think it's been maybe a little bit different than years past, but you're closing in on 1,000 yards, 9 straight weeks, scoring a touchdown. Is this how you envisioned this season going, or have you surprised yourself at all this year?
I mean, yeah. I think this season's been going well. I think, you know, as a team, we're rolling. You know, run game's rolling. Me and TP are doing our thing. O-line is, you know, even though we've had, you know, a lot of moving parts, you know, they've all played very well, and we're so deep in that room that it hasn't necessarily affected us. But you know, I think we're right where I expected to be this season, and you know, I'm looking forward to making that playoff push.
I'm glad you mentioned Tony, because that was going to be my next question already. As we know, we've kind of coined you guys as that 1-2 punch. And I think Coach Pete says that he calls you the hammer and he calls Tony the sword. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me about the nicknames.
So I'm the hammer. I'm going to smash him, and you know, Tony come in, he slice him up.
I love that. That's it's very iconic. Have you ever been in a system like this where you've worked so in tandem with another player and it's been as effective as you guys have been this year? You know, honestly, you know, this is kind of somewhat new to me the past couple of years with, you know, TP, you know, earning a larger role. And, you know, I mean, honestly, you know, I was used to always being the bell cow and just touching the ball all the time. But, I mean, right now, I wouldn't say there was a year where I felt fresher at this time of the year. And, I mean, that's just a testament of just, you know, TP and myself splitting those carries. And I mean, I think we do work very well as a tandem, and we're both, you know, fresh going into the playoffs, and that's what's important. It's so fun watching you guys, and you're so opposite too, like even personality-wise. He's very quiet and reserved with us. You have a little bit bigger of a personality, so I love that even that part of you guys is different. But I've spent this year getting to know you a little bit better, and one of the things that has stood out to me is you're an animal lover. You've got a couple of pets at home. I want to talk about the doggies first, because I also am a dog mom. Tell me about your doggies at home.
Yeah, I have a Frenchie Juice. He's 2, and then I have an English Bulldog. He's 5. His name is Deuce. And then I have a snake.
Juice and Deuce.
My snake, I have a ball python, and he's about 8 months, and his name is Mr. Snake.
Yeah, I want to get into that, because almost every single person I've sat down with this year, your teammates are terrified of snakes. When I ask them what their biggest fear is, they say snakes. Where's the interest with the snake come? How did you decide I'm gonna get a pet python?
You know, I've always been kind of interested. I love all animals, and so you know, I kind of wanted to get something different. You know, I was thinking of cat, but I was allergic to cats.
I am too.
But you know, snakes are pretty easy. They're pretty I mean, you just gotta feed them once a week, clean their cage every couple weeks, water, you know what I mean, and play with them a couple of times a week. But they're pretty easy to. I mean, they're pretty easy pets.
How do you play with the snake?
Well, you gotta like hang out with them, like take him out the cage. He likes to you gotta give him some type of stimulus other than the cage. You can't be in the cage the whole life, so he likes to kind of like play in the covers and kind of like slither around.
Oh my gosh.
I should have brought Mr. Snake.
I'm glad you did it. I'm glad he's at the crib. I know that the offseason's coming up. We're going to get to the playoffs when we get to the playoffs, but what does offseason Zeke look like? How do you spend your time away from the game?
Just vacation, trying to relax. A lot of video games, a lot of movies.
Okay.
Some beers.
What's your video game of choice?
Call of Duty.
Okay. I think I tried playing that one time, and I got through like 5 minutes of it, and they're like, "You need to get off."
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You gotta put in the work to. Yeah, if you don't play for a while, it's kind of hard to get like back up to. Yeah, you gotta play a lot to.
Are you an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy?
Xbox.
Okay. I'm a PlayStation girl, so that's probably why I'm not good at Call of Duty. We just talked about it. I know you've talked as well about, getting to the playoffs isn't really an accomplishment for this team anymore because you guys have done that before. You have your sights set on a Super Bowl. When you look at the guys that you have in your locker room this year, what makes this group special? What allows this group to be able to achieve that in the coming weeks?
I would say how deep this team is. You look at this roster, and we got so much depth at a lot of different positions, and what it takes, to win down the long road is just you need that depth because guys can get beat up, guys can get banged up, and you got to have that next man up mentality, and when there's not much of a fall off between your first and second string guys, that's tough on the opposing teams.
All right, my last formal question for you. I've asked all the guys this. I've loved y'all's answers. My time with the Dallas Cowboys has been blank. Finish that sentence for me.
Oh, wow. My time with the Dallas Cowboys has been a blast.
Tell me why.
Just like all the friendships I've made, the time I spent here, won a lot of football games, had a lot of success. Had some rough years, but it's the NFL. Not every year is going to be a playoff year, but overall, just been a good time.
The fans have loved you too. I love hearing those feed Zeke chants whenever we're in the red zone and you've got the ball. So I know they appreciate that. I know this franchise appreciates you as well. That's the hard part. This is the fun part. We call this the final drive. So we're going to put a minute on our clock. I've got about 20 questions on here. We're going to see how many we can get through and see how well you do.
Cool.
All right, here we go. We've got a minute on the clock. You ready to go?
Yep.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. First question, if you could live in another country, where would it be?
Amsterdam.
One thing you would do if you were stranded on an island.
Find shade.
Describe yourself in one word.
Fun.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
If you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Fried chicken.
Ooh, okay. Do you like going in more or staying out? Sorry, going out or staying in?
Staying in.
Okay. Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
The coolest player you've ever played with?
That.
What emoji do you use the most?
Heart emoji.
Phone call or FaceTime?
FaceTime.
Something on your bucket list that you haven't done yet?
Visit Tokyo.
Okay, and last one, what is your hidden talent?
I don't know if I have any hidden talents.
Okay. I don't know that I have any either, actually, so that's a tough question. But I like that your emoji is a heart emoji. What color?
Blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the red one. That's the like the one that's in the cards, not the normal one. So I love that. Zeke, you are always such a pleasure to chat with. You are such a light to this team and to this fan base. So thank you for being my season finale.
Thank you.
That will do it for this edition of First and 10 and for our series. Thanks so much for sticking with us this year. We will see you next time on First and 10.